I was in a funless one-sided marriage until I moved out. As the title says, I was in a funless one-sided marriage until I moved out, then all of a sudden she wanted to be affectionate. A little backstory: my wife and I have been together for 12 years, married for 1 year, we had the same group of friends, always hung out, always had a good time, started dating, always had great fun frequently, then after a few years dating all of that started to fall off. We drifted apart, even breaking up for a year somewhere in there. We got back together, had our daughter, had our son, things were okay. Then we got married and it's like all of the problems we had in our relationship were amplified. Before anyone says, I need to help more, or whatever, I do a lot for my family. I get up while everyone's still asleep for work, get home around 4, I do the dishes, take out the trash, clean the floors, do laundry, mow the lawn, cook dinner, take care of the kids/play with the kids, give the kids baths, put them to bed every night, even read them a bedtime story every night. I stretch myself thin, stressed, never really having time for myself, but she would still tell me I don't do enough. I would constantly watch movies or TV shows with my wife every night, always what she wanted to watch. She doesn't like the movies or shows I like. I would go to her friends' houses even when I really didn't want to, barely ever see any of my friends anymore. Go to whatever parties or plans she makes, whether I'm tired or it's my only day off or whatever the case may be, I'd make it happen. Still never feeling any sort of genuine appreciation. With all that, we never had fun. We would go months at a time, me constantly trying to initiate and constantly being rejected. We would be out and she'd say things like, I can't wait to go home so I can sug your disc, but then when we'd get home it never happened, always straight to bed. Only once in a while I'd get a, okay fine, and it felt like she was treating it as a chore as opposed to something she wanted to do. Naturally that turned me off, constantly being rejected by my GF then wife turned me off, and so I stopped initiating. I stopped trying. I still did everything I mentioned for my family, but I decided I'm done trying to have fun with someone who doesn't want to have fun with me. I started staying downstairs to watch my shows or my movies or play my video game when she'd go up to bed and come up to bed later when I was done. I started making time for myself when the kids were asleep. She started telling me I never spend time with her anymore, I never want to have fun, I never this and that. But I was over it at that point. I'd just like to note we talked about this many times before I started pulling away to do my own thing, and she always disregarded my feelings in the situation, which is part of the reason I said fuck it. Fast forward a few months, I moved out. I'm currently staying with a friend. Now she's showing interest in my interests, telling me to make our plans, telling me to pick our shows or movies, trying to have fun all the time, even telling me I should go hang out with my friends, which was always a fight before. It feels nice to finally get some sort of the affection and understanding and appreciation I wanted, but it also feels like it may be too little too late. My mind is telling me it's an act to get me to move back in so that we can go right back to the way things were. There may be a honeymoon phase for a few weeks or even a few months, but something in my gut is telling me it'll go right back to how it was. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I love her and I don't want to hurt her, but I also don't want to waste my life being miserable and unhappy. The past 2 months I've been moved out, I have felt stress-free, less anxious, less depressed, happier than I have in as long as I can remember.